Picture this. You're 23 years old, broke, hooked on painkillers, and your stock trading career just imploded. But you do have one great idea, a sort of business deal, if you will. You're going to kidnap the son of one of the most famous people in the world, Frank Sinatra. Yes, that Frank Sinatra. Leader of the Rat Pack, Old Blue Eyes, chairman of the board. What could possibly go wrong? Hello and welcome to Truly Unreal, the choose your own adventure true crime show where we tell stories about scams, cons, and bad actors. Because sometimes truth really is stranger than fiction. I'm your host, James Lee Hernandez, and today I'm joined by Lauren Holt. Lauren is an actor, writer, and comedian who you might recognize from SNL, the Barbie movie, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and most recently, The Comeback and my personal fave, I Love LA. Absolutely love your character on that show. So good.
Thank you.
Lauren, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited. I'm a big fan of your work as well.
Oh, thank you. Well, the icebreaker that we like to do for this show is a little bit different. So before we get into things, we like to spin the Truly Unwheel. And so we have the wheel here. And
to see the wheel.
each
Fantastic.
one of these images represents a different scandal, scam, cult, or conspiracy, and they'll have a prompt that goes along with it. So I will spin the wheel. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm so ready.
All right, here we go. Okay. Let's see. Firefest.
Oh my gosh.
We got Firefest.
And on Coachella weekend. How perfect.
So perfect. So, have you ever gotten scammed? And what happened?
I almost got scammed from the Bank of America scammers that were going around.
Oh.
Where they make their caller ID Bank of America and then say like, hey, did you make this purchase in whatever? It was like Flowerton, Texas or something. And I was like, no, oh my gosh. And then they make you put their number in for Zelle, and I almost did it.
There have been emails going out from all the banks, if you get something like this, don't fall for it. It might sound like someone you know. They're trying to say
I really almost did.
Worry about your parents. I'm worried about me.
Yeah, I am the 60 and up crowd that's getting cursed by this.
Yeah, I'm going to bed at 8:30. I'm waking up way too early. I'd love to garden. I'm the target.
Yes, I knit constantly. Also the target.
So, how did you realize that it was a scam? Did it just was it a lightning bolt or what?
When I started crying, and I was like, this means something's wrong, I think. So I was like, it felt very rushed, and I was like, it felt really icky and weird, but I was like, it was a crazy amount of money, and I was like, I just got worried. And I've also been robbed so many times in my life that I'm pretty sensitive to it. So I was like, oh no. And then when they were telling me to Zelle them as a way to get the money back or something, it was like, wait, what? And then I was like, are you sure you're the bank? Are you sure you're Bank of America? And he was like, ma'am, I understand, but if you look at the caller ID, it says Bank of America. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to hang up, call back, and see if it's the same. I hung up, called back, and they were like, just so you know, there are scams going on where they try to make you Zelle a phone number. And I was like, and then I called my business manager, was like, I think I just gave away all my money. And they got my parents' address. It was bad. And then I called my parents crying. So I can already tell you this adventure that I'm about to choose might be the wrong one, but we'll see.
Well, I'm sorry that happened, but second, glad that it didn't go too far.
It's many of my relationships. I'll get far enough where it's where I'm crying, and then I figure out it needs to end.
You pull the ripcord just in time.
Yes.
All right. Well, today I'm going to put you in the shoes of a guy that thought he was about to do the perfect crime. At certain major forks in the road, when a person would take the right or the wrong way, I will present you with the question of, Lauren, what would you do if you were this person? And at the end, we'll find out if you came away clean, if you get arrested, or who knows what would happen to this person, but you will be living through their eyes.
Excited. Let's get into some trauma. Let's do it.
Great. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to go back in time a little bit. It's 1960. Your name is Barry Keenan.
Hello.
You grew up in LA in the 1940s in an upper middle class neighborhood. As a kid, you were really obsessed with heaven and hell, and you actually thought you could talk to angels. So
Hey.
we'll fast forward, and you go to the Santa Monica Public High School. And at the time, tons of celebrities are going there, or kids of celebrities. And you get in with a popular crew, you start partying, you start drinking a lot. After graduation, you go to UCLA. While at UCLA are pretty good, like an entrepreneur, even before that was really a big thing. And you get into real estate investing and you start making a lot of money. You, at 21, start trading on the Los Angeles Stock Exchange, and you're also doing well there. Okay, so life's going pretty good so far.
So my name's Barry Keoghan. I'm doing I'm doing really well.
Yeah, you're in Saltburn. You're actually killing
Yes.
it.
Okay. I'm hot. Okay. Yeah, I'm in Irish. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So Barry Keenan, you said?
Barry Keenan.
Perfect.
And so you're doing so well that you buy a big house, you got cars, you get a couple boats.
At 21?
At 21.
Hell
and your
yeah.
goal, I mean, at this point, you think it's early 1960s. Your goal is to be a millionaire by 30.
Okay.
But again, you are partying and drinking a lot. But who cares you're rich, right? Like, who didn't?
Am I still obsessed with heaven and hell?
Yes, you are still obsessed with heaven and hell.
Perfect.
So you're rich, you're doing well, you're having parties, doing all this stuff, but then your life takes a bit of a turn for the worst. So in 1961, you get in a car accident, and it leaves you with chronic back pain. So the doctors give you Percodan and sleeping pills to deal with the pain.
Fantastic.
We're one step away from just cocaine, just blow a rail and your back will feel great. So you, of course, develop a full-scale addiction to painkillers, muscle relaxers, tranquilizers, and you're just high on pills all the time. Then in 1962, the stock market takes a downturn that was called the Kennedy slide back then when JFK got elected, and all your investments tank. You lose all your money, and you're living off of loans from friends. So in a 3-year span, you went from high on the hog to you got nothing.
Oh, my God.
You're desperate for money. You still have that entrepreneurial mindset, and you start thinking of ways to make fast cash. So at this point, Lauren, it's 1963. What are you doing for fast cash?
Good God. Maybe like selling stuff like door to door, perhaps.
That actually would be the thing. Like that was
Right?
back
Like
in the
vacuums and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, Bibles, since you can speak to angels.
Oh my God, I forgot about speaking to angels. First, I'd ask them what I should do, and then like cars, like selling stolen cars. I don't know.
It's funny that you mentioned talking to angels because this is what the real Barry did. So one day you decide to just drive up to a viewpoint up in the hills and you're having an existential life crisis and you're going to look out at the city and an answer is going to come to you. When all of a sudden you're convinced you hear the voice of God coming through the radio. Wow. And to you, this isn't crazy because remember, you could speak with angels,
We have
right?
a direct line, yeah. So
Right.
this isn't crazy, yeah.
And God tells you you should kidnap someone.
Awesome.
That's what he's there for, you know?
Yeah, of course. Well, he's obsessed with kidnapping.
Yeah. Yeah, that God.
Yeah.
So you take his advice and you land on this genius idea. You're going to kidnap the child of a celebrity.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. This is still going on today. So this is wild. Okay.
Yep.
And to go for a kid is really, that's where the real money is. So it makes
because the
sense.
parents got the money. You need to get the kid because they need the kid back.
Yeah.
So just as an aside, today in 2026, I mean, if you're targeting a rich person to kidnap their kid, who are you going after?
Who's got a lot of kids? Or no, who only has one kid? We don't want a lot of kids because you got to get someone loves that one kid.
Yeah, like my first thought was Elon, but he's like, I'll just like
Oh, he
have
doesn't
more
give a
kids.
shit. I think billionaires and millionaires are really bad. So maybe I will do this as Lauren Holt. Just kidding. Yeah, let's go tech because they've got crazy money and they seem like a little unhinged. Like they'll just be like, I'll just give it. It's fine, right?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, just peel them off 20 million. We're fine.
Yeah. I'm not, it's a kid. Like, I'm not going to hurt it. Just like, give me the money. Let's get this over with.
All right. Well, you are on the right mindset. You as Barry, you're like brainstorming. Okay, like what famous person has a kid? How, like, who's going to pay up? And the first name you think of is Bob Hope.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yes.
Bob Hope,
He's
you
got
think,
an airport.
okay, yeah,
Let's get
got
him.
an airport. He's definitely got a kid that he's going to pay up for. But then you start to think Bob Hope does so much for the troops. He's such a giving person, and kidnapping his kid and then getting him to pay up feels un-American.
And I
So-
agree with that. Yeah.
You decide against that.
Barry and I are in lockstep here.
Okay, so you go back to the drawing board and you start to think, okay, like what other famous people? And then you remember you went to a high school with really famous people. And one of the people you went to high school with
My high
was
school bully.
Nancy Sinatra.
Nancy Sinatra. Was she my high school bully?
She
This could be the ultimate revenge, too.
can
like, plus
neither
money.
be confirmed nor denied, but
Okay, so Nancy.
Yeah.
And Nancy was Frank's
Frank Sinatra's daughter.
daughter.
Frank's only daughter. You think, though, like, I kind of feel bad putting a woman through something like that. But you do realize, like, you know what? She does have a younger brother, Frank Sinatra Jr.
Okay.
And so you think, Frank Sinatra Jr., he's tough enough to be kidnapped.
So far, Barry
Yeah.
has a heart of gold here. He's like, he loves the troops. He's like, Nancy's a woman. I can't do that. Okay.
You think, all right, Frank Sinatra Jr., he's 19 at the time. He could deal with all this stuff. And you also strangely believe that this will somehow bring the Sinatra family closer if you kidnap him, because at the time there were reports that Frank was a little too hardcore, Frank Sr., because of his mob ties, allegedly. So this actually might spin in a way where they look at Frank and the Sinatra family in a nicer light than they had been recently.
He's a PR guy, too. This guy's rocking it.
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
in your mind, you're doing the family a favor,
Yeah.
really. You really don't even see this as a crime. You see this as a business deal, and you come up with a full business plan. So here's your business plan. Step 1, kidnap Frank Jr., collect the ransom, invest the money wisely in some real estate dealings, and then step 2, later pay back Frank Sr. with interest.
Okay. Kidnapping loan.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
no one gets hurt, everybody wins.
Perfect plan. What could go wrong?
It really does feel like God is behind this plan.
Well,
And
he
this
is, and he
this
told
is
me
what
through
he
the
wanted.
radio. 95.1 heaven.com.
Yeah, I mean, you're worried about going to hell, and this is good. This isn't a go to hell kind of a thing.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're Barry, what's your next steps here?
We got to find this kid. Got to see where he hangs out. Maybe dress up as a young 19-year-old. We 19 Jump Street this kid, and we get him, right?
Right. So the other thing you have to think of is like, are you rolling solo, or do you try to Ocean's 11 it and build a crew?
As Lauren, I'm going solo probably. But what do I do as Barry? Tell me.
Well, funny enough, Frank Sinatra was in the original Ocean's 11. And so that's what Barry does.
Okay.
Of course, he's like, I need to put a crew together to help me pull this off. Much like I'm building a business. I need to hire people to work at my business.
Oh, yes, because he's building the business of this deal. Right.
Right. Now, for you, if you're putting a team together, who are you calling?
My best friend. Absolutely. Someone, you're ride or die. If I'm really into heaven and hell, maybe someone from the church. I don't know.
Yeah, you need an ace up your sleeve, like just in case. Get some holy water into this action.
Yes. I mean, my mom would probably help out. She'd go hard for me.
I love it. All right. Well, you as Barry, you know that you can't do this alone. So you decide, all right, I'm going to get some people involved. So recruit number one is a guy named Joe Amsler. He's 23 years old. He's a former friend of yours from high school, and he's currently an abalone diver, which those are the guys who go down to get sea snails.
Of course. And my face was that I understood what you were saying and knew that.
Sorry, when I first learned, I was like, I feel like I should know that, but I don't.
No.
So this guy obviously needs money because there's not a ton of money in abalone diving. So you go to him with the business plan, and of course he's in.
Of course. Of course he's in. Yeah.
Of course. Now, recruit number two is a great one. It's a guy named John Irwin. He's 42 years old, so he's almost double your age.
Mm-hmm.
He's a house painter, and a little fun fact, he used to date your mom.
Okay. My stepdad. Come on in.
So you pick him specifically because he has a really gruff voice, and at some point, you're going to have to make the call to Frank Sr., and you need somebody with a gruff, like serious voice, a sort of like Hoboken, quote unquote, hoodlum on the ransom call, since, Sinatra was from Hoboken and was pretty tough.
Okay. This guy's, he's covering all his bases. I don't know how this is going to go wrong.
Yeah, this is really, the perfect crime almost here.
I can see why he believed it was the perfect crime. It's like, I got a voice change guy, I got a diver, we're in good shape.
Yep. And you start paying these guys $100 a week, like a salary, because again, this is a business. Mm-hmm. Now, this is probably one of my favorite curveballs. You get one more person involved. Now, have you ever heard of the group Jan and Dean? They had the Surf City and Little Old Lady from Pasadena songs that got popular.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that was the Beach Boys, but Jan and Dean were kind of like the Lumineers to the Beach Boys, Mumford and Sons.
All right.
They're like this similar but different.
Mm-hmm.
So, funny enough, you also went to high school with Dean of Jan and Dean. Wow. And you go to him and say, hey, I have this business idea, and I need like $500 to $1,000 of seed money to get this kidnapping off the ground. And he agrees.
Wait, we're calling it a kidnapping? That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, this is how it goes.
It's the 60s, man. I'm going to kidnap this guy. Relax.
So,
he was pissed about the Beach Boys, so he's trying to. I get it.
Yeah. Now, none of these guys are criminals. These are all just regular dudes trying to figure out this quote unquote business plan. And none of them have done anything like this before. So you've assembled your like Oceans 3 or 4, if you will. Mm-hmm. You got an abalone diver, a house painter, and you, of course, the broke addict businessman.
Oh, I forgot about my addiction. Yes.
Is this the best team ever?
I'm feeling like it's the best I can do right now, and so we're gonna have to go forward with this plan in this group at this time.
I mean, you got to feed the beast somehow.
Yeah.
So now it's time to put the plan into action, and first you have to get a little hideaway house, somewhere where you guys can team up and figure things out. And you come up with a fake name, Frank Long. Now, you rent your hideaway house in Canoga Park, which is in the Valley in LA. And for some reason, you rent the house with an English accent because you're really getting deep into this criminal business.
Absolutely.
And now the next step is you actually have to figure out where Frank Jr. is. You got to start stalking him.
Oh, yeah.
So Frank is trying to be a singer like his dad. He's on tour doing the crooner kind of thing.
Well, that makes it easy. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, if this is a random kid, where are we going to find him?
Right. And he's currently singing and touring with the Tommy Dorsey Band. And you start to follow him on the tour. You find out that their next stop is in Phoenix, Arizona, and they're playing the Arizona State Fair. You decide, all right, this is the time to make the move. You get the squad together, and you guys plan to take them down in Phoenix. Great. It's October 1963. You and Joe track the band to the fair, and you guys are ready to go for it. You're all hyped up. You have a general idea of the plan of how you're going to bag them, and then you chicken out.
Yeah, had too many fried Oreos at the state fair. Got a little tummy ache, and we're like, it's not the day. Today's not the day. We're
And see
playing the
what
long
happens.
game. We want it to be right the first time.
But you do have another opportunity. So on November 22nd, 1963, Frank Jr. is playing at the Ambassador Hotel on Wilshire. And the day after the performance is the USC versus UCLA football game. Technically, you're still a UCLA student. So you think, I have a built-in alibi. We can kidnap and I can go to the game and be seen by hundreds of other students. So I will never be suspected. You rent a room in that hotel the day of the kidnapping.
Under my name, I hope.
Well, you have your fake name
I know.
and your British
right.
accent.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh.
And this room is going to be your kidnapping headquarters for what's going to go down at this hotel. It's the big day. You guys are hyped. You're finally going to go through with it. And then JFK is assassinated in Dallas, Texas
Shut
that morning.
up. When you said
And
the
the
date,
show.
I forgot that was that
Yeah.
day.
And the show is canceled.
Okay.
In a weird curveball, that's the same hotel that Robert Kennedy is assassinated in a few years later, the Ambassador
Oh,
Hotel.
my God. What? Maybe this guy is connected to heaven and hell. I don't know. That's crazy.
So you have to regroup again. Now, you've tried twice and it hasn't been working out. Are you thinking, you know what? Maybe this is a sign from God to stop?
Dang. Depends on how high I am. But I'm probably thinking God's trying to tell me something.
There is a third attempt.
Okay.
Now, you find out that the next stop for Frank Jr. is going to be in Lake Tahoe, Nevada. He's going to play multiple days of shows, but there's a little bit of a wrinkle involved in that after these shows, they're going on a European tour, and this is it. You either have this happen in Lake Tahoe or it's not going down.
Whoa.
So it gets to Sunday, December 8th, 1963. There's a full blizzard outside, and you guys decide this is the day, it's going down, this is it. Is at the Harrah's Club Lodge, and they're going to do their performance. It's 9 p.m. Their performance is at 10. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is it. It's do or die. What do you think is the first move? Do you kidnap him before the performance or after the performance?
After, because people are gonna be looking for him if it's before.
That's a great point. And unfortunately, Barry does not do that. It's before.
This is the first time Barry's made a wrong move. Okay.
You go to the front desk and you pretend to be a delivery person, and you have a box that looks like maybe some alcohol, and you need to deliver this to Frank Jr.'s room. And of course they tell you, all right, he's in this room. This is where you need to go.
Here's his social security number. Go ahead.
You and Joe Amsler go to the room. You're standing at the door, basically like a delivery person, and Joe's kind of waiting in the wings. You knock, and Frank Jr. opens the door. And he's just standing there like in his underwear and a t-shirt. John Foss, 26-year-old trumpet player from the Dorsey Band, is also in the room. So a bit of a wrinkle.
Damn.
You walk in, you set the box on the dresser, and then you pull out a gun. You call in Joe. Joe jumps into the room, and you tell everybody not to make a noise and nobody will get hurt. You say it's a robbery and ask where their money is. You tie up the trumpet player and throw tape over his mouth, and you let Frank get dressed, blindfold him, and then you walk him out to your Chevy Impala in the back of the casino.
Okay.
So, I mean, things seem to be kind of going well so far. Now, there is a bit of a problem. So, the trumpet
What do we
player,
do with the guy?
he immediately escapes after you guys leave. Instantly.
Yeah.
He goes and tells the road manager for the orchestra, and that guy calls the police right away. Soon, dozens of state cops are searching for you. Like, in an instant. Frank Sinatra Jr. is missing. It's on. FBI agents are also immediately called to the area.
Okay.
Now, you guys are in a car, hightailing it to L.A., And over the radio, you hear there are now going to be roadblocks because the search is on for Frank Sinatra Jr.
Oh my God.
You have stashed Frank in the trunk.
Of course.
And you and Joe are just cruising down the highway like, oh my God, what are we going to do? So, Lauren, as Barry, what do you do now?
Pull over, hide. Like, I got to get off the road.
So you think just kind of like stash the car, just wait it out until the roadblocks go away, that kind of a thing?
Yeah. That's what I would do.
It's kind of like if you've seen Roof Man, where you just like hide in plain sight, kind of.
Yeah,
where you...
kind of. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm just camping. What do you mean?
Exactly. Well, all right. So the real Barry did do something that was a little bit smart. So they decide they're going to keep pushing through, but before they get to a roadblock, he makes Joe get out of the car and go run into the forest and say he'll swing around and pick him up later. He then pulls over, pulls Frank Sinatra Jr. out of the trunk and has him crouch down and hide in the back seat of the car and covers him with a blanket. Because his thought is they're looking for two kidnappers and Frank Sinatra Jr. So if he's driving by himself, they might look in the trunk, but they won't look in the back seat.
Not too bad, Barry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you pull up to the roadblock, you get up to the police, and they ask, why did you pull over back over there? And you say, oh, the blizzard. Remember, a blizzard's going on. I had to get snow chains and get those on, do all that. So they're like, okay, well, we need to search the car. And your answer to this is unbelievable. You just say to them, you don't need to search this car, officer. And the cop believes you and tells you just to move on.
You're joking.
The 1960s were a much more trusting time. Then you go through several other roadblocks and no one stops you or questions you.
That is so funny. I want to do this as Frank Sinatra Jr. because I am hooting and hollering in that back seat saying, because he's not going to kill me with the cops right there.
I had the same thought. I was like, you're Frank Sinatra Jr. You're just going to like kick it back here and let him do it? But yeah, I guess he did.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat.
So you talked your way through multiple police roadblocks and you have a kidnapped celebrity in the car. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling like I'm on top of the world. I'm going to heaven. The angels are right. This is all going great.
Yeah, I mean, it's going a little too smooth. You drive all the way from Tahoe to LA. Of course, remember, you have your hideaway house in Canoga Park.
Oh, yes.
You keep Frank Jr. there, and you set up kind of a makeshift holding station for him. But now, you got to contact Frank Sr.
Yes. Okay, now it's on.
Mm-hmm. But you can't just Google Frank Sr.'s phone number.
Right.
This is 1963.
Famously Google, not around yet.
So you basically try to get Frank Jr. to tell you how to get a hold of him. What's his phone number? And Frank Jr. basically tells you to kick rocks. Like, I'm never going to give you this phone number. And he's not afraid of you. He's not panicking at all. So meanwhile, Frank Sr. hears about the kidnapping and rushes to the Tahoe area to try and find his son.
No way.
Yes. He sets up his own command station in Reno in his hotel room. And he starts working with the FBI to figure out where his son is. You, Barry, hear on the radio that Frank Sinatra Sr. is staying at the Mapes Hotel in Reno right now. So you have your man with the gruff voice, John Irwin, call the hotel. Now, Frank Sinatra Sr. declines the call.
Why?
He's working closely with the FBI, so the communication is being held really tight. So you as a kidnapper are like, what the hell? We know where he is, but how else do we communicate with him? What do you do at this point? I mean, are you panicking? What's the move?
Yeah, no, I'm panicking. I'm like, okay, well, I got to figure out a different way to get in touch with him. Write him a letter, ransom note.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no. This feels like a test. This whole podcast feels like a test. In a fun way.
It's sort of like a test just to see how criminal you could be.
Yeah, okay. So far, I think I'm bad, but I don't know. We'll see at the end.
All right, so the thing that happens is It's like a trail of payphones for the ransom operation.
Brilliant.
And this is why, actually, it's a funny thing that was known about Frank Sinatra Sr. He would always carry 10 dimes in his pocket because he was always worried that if something was like a panic situation, that he'd be able to make calls on a payphone anywhere he went.
Oh.
He was even buried with 10 dimes for that reason.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
So John Irwin, of course, your mom's ex with the gruff voice, calls the Mapes Hotel again. This time, he gives instructions. Drive from Reno to a specific Chevron station payphone in Carson City and wait there. So the message finally gets through to Frank Sinatra Sr., and he drives down and waits at a phone booth for the phone to ring. Now, you put Frank Sinatra Jr. briefly on the line to confirm that he's still alive. And your demand, $240,000, which is like $2.5 million today.
Why 240?
Well, you specifically have calculated that this would meet your financial needs. This is part of the business plan.
I've done some financial planning, and I know that this will be good.
So Frank Sr., of course, being the guy he is, says, I'll give you $1 million instead, just to make sure I get my kid home okay. And you say no and stick to the original 240 because, of course,
because I can't pay $1 million back. Yeah,
exactly. Like you're thinking, okay, 240 with interest.
Interest on $1 million is not going to work. Yeah.
So you tell Frank Sr., get to LA and wait for further instructions. Now, if Frank Sr. offered you $1 million, would you actually turn that down or would you take it? Yeah.
I'm taking it for sure. Also, I'm all hopped up on pills. I'm like, $1 million. Yeah, of course. Like, interest is what, $20? Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. What was interest back then?
Yeah.
Can't be that bad.
Interest and inflation are the same. Back then, interest was way less.
Exactly.
Yes,
it's science.
and that's science and math connected.
All right. Well, Frank goes back to LA. And of course, you have Irwin call with final drop instructions. You tell him, put the cash in a suitcase. And the drop is the next morning between two school buses by a Texaco on Sepulveda.
Okay.
Now, the FBI photographs every serial number of every bill of the $240,000.
That's a lot of film. That's film back then. Oh my God.
Then they had to develop it.
Because I do photography. I'm like, that's a lot of work. Okay.
They got a team. You know? So in the early morning hours of December 11th, sometime between 1 a.m. 3 a.m., Frank Sinatra Sr. hands a suitcase over to the FBI. FBI agent Jerome Crow makes the physical drop between the school buses, and you drive Joe Amsler and yourself to pick up the money. Total time of the ordeal now since the kidnapping has been 54 hours. So while you and Joe are going to collect the money, John Irwin is alone with Frank Jr. back in the Canoga house.
Oh, and he's got a heart of gold.
He does, and he's starting to fall apart at the seams and panicking. Like it's just him and Frank Jr. starts to spiral, and he decides, I got to let Frank go. I can't do this anymore.
Oh, my God.
So he takes Frank Jr., drives him towards Bel Air, and just drops him off.
You're kidding me.
Frank Jr. is found walking around Bel Air by a security guard at 3 a.m. So in this instance, you guys are picking up the money thinking, holy shit, we did it. This is amazing. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Frank Jr. is now safe. I mean,
part of me is like, we got the money. Okay. You know what I mean? Kind of perfect timing. Do it when I have money in hand.
True. Okay. So you still feel good about it, whether you found out he was gone or not.
Because I don't know. Yeah. Right now I'm like, we're riding high with the top down, like let's go spend this money.
Now, it's December 12th, so it's been 24 hours since the money has been collected. And you think you got away with it. Meanwhile, John Irwin now can't hold it together. He tells his brother about the entire thing. His brother
Steve Irwin.
immediately,
Yeah.
Steve Irwin,
Yeah.
immediately tells the FBI. On December 13th, you are arrested. And December 14th, Joe is arrested. So you're in custody. And now you have this really interesting lawyer that's going to defend you.
Okay.
Her name's Gladys Towles Root.
Great name. I already trust her.
She shows up in court with a giant hat on.
Yes, Gladys. Rocket Mama.
Skin tight dress, furs, costume jewelry, the whole nine.
Oh my God. I'm obsessed.
And so her specialty, of course, is defending men accused of sex crimes. And her signature move is to blame the victim.
I want to play this woman in this movie. When we make this movie, James.
Yeah, this is you.
This is
100%.
Me. Please, God, please. Okay. Yes.
Now, to add to the fun of it, she tells you there's only one defense that'll work for this case. She asks if you're willing to say in court that the entire kidnapping was a publicity stunt orchestrated by Frank Jr. himself. As Barry, I mean, do you agree to this defense?
Yes. If this woman's telling me anything, I'm going to say yes.
Smart. So, in real life, Gladys Towles Root does argue this in court. It's actually the legitimate defense strategy.
Wow.
Yeah, there's just one problem. At a certain point, in case you got caught or killed, you decided to write a confession letter and put it in a safety deposit box. And you did that all before the kidnapping even went down.
Damn.
The FBI does find it, and your defense is immediately destroyed.
Gladys is so pissed. Oh, Gladys
She
is
is.
pissed.
But it is effective because, sadly, the rumor sticks anyway. And so for the rest of Frank Jr.'s life, many people believed that he was in on this whole thing and this entire situation was faked.
Whoa. In some ways, this is the perfect crime. In
If
many
it
ways,
wasn't-
it's not. But in some ways, it is.
Yeah, it's like, you know, maybe there's some lemonade in the lemons.
Yeah, in the court
there.
of public opinion, I'm the good guy here.
Right. I mean, you did sort of ruin his life with the kidnapping and his
Yeah.
reputation, but you know,
Who
tomato,
cares?
tomato.
God told me to, so he has God has a plan.
All right. Well, that's the general end of everything. There's some fallout, but before we get to the fallout, how did you do? We're going to see if you would have survived this better than Barry.
Okay.
So, from the jump, you're off to a very different start than Barry. While he was hearing God tell him to kidnap a celebrity, you would have gone door to door selling anything. I mean, the shadiest thing would have been selling stolen cars.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, vacuum cleaners was your original idea.
Yeah.
So you probably would have survived based off of that. You also would have gone solo, no crew, which means you would have had no narcs. That also was a positive.
Yes.
Yeah, because look what actually took him down at the end.
John fucking Irwin.
Yeah. John fucking Irwin.
He's the bad guy in all this.
Yeah. He actually went against God's will on that.
Uh-huh. And he's going to hell.
And for the roadblocks, now you would have hid in plain sight, which could have worked. Not sure on that one. And also, they got through the roadblocks, which was terribly lucky and kind of weird and doesn't look great on the cops.
That's the craziest part of this whole story, to be honest.
And you know, you pivoted. You would have gone ransom note when Frank Sr. didn't take the first call. That who knows if that would have worked or not. And then finally, in court, you basically would do anything that Gladys told you to do, which is what the real life Barry did. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, it does seem like you would have done better because you didn't have anybody going with you. And at the point where I want 240,000, you said, I'll take the million. Maybe you could have bought your way out of anything.
Yeah.
With you and the power of Gladys, with that money, you never know. I'm going to call it. I think you actually survived this thing.
Hell yeah, brother. That rocks.
So, what do you think the fallout was from this? What do you think happened to Barry and the accomplices?
Absolutely prison. Prison plus.
Well, it is a bit of prison plus. So, there was a federal trial in the spring of 1964, and Barry and Joe are convicted on all 6 counts, and both of them get life plus 75 years.
That is prison plus. Oh man,
Yes.
I was making a joke and that's real.
Yeah, they got it. John Irwin, of course, because he came clean, he got convicted on 5 counts, only got 16 years.
Damn, that's still a lot, honestly. I thought he was going to be okay.
Yeah, the one he got acquitted on was because he wasn't physically in Lake Tahoe with the other 2 guys.
Whoa. Okay.
So he didn't take anybody across state lines.
Yeah.
And remember Dean from Jan and Dean, the guy who gave him the money? He gets called as a witness, and first he denies knowing anything about the plot.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Then comes back and admits that he did know. The judge literally declares from the bench that he committed perjury, and $1,870 of the ransom money was found in a safety deposit box that both Barry and Dean shared together.
Oh my God.
Little bit of a smoking gun there.
Yeah. God. These
But-
people are really dumb.
In a crazy turn, Dean does not get charged.
For not even for perjury?
Walks out of the court unscathed.
Okay. When you got the voice of an angel, you can
Yep.
do anything.
Yeah, that's true. It's celebrities. They can
Yeah.
do anything.
Wow.
So there is an appeal, though, and the sentences get pretty drastically reduced. So Joe Amsler and John Irwin, they serve 3.5 years each. And then Barry's is reduced to 4.5 years.
Wait,
So it went from life plus 75 years to 4.5 years.
you're kidding me. This is all a joke. The justice system is a joke.
Well, the way Barry gets out of it is he is declared legally insane
I
due
was
to
gonna
his
say,
drug addiction.
Also insane from thinking he's got a direct line to God. Like I would have been, if I was Gladys, I'd be like, and this man is crazy.
Yeah, you could have gone with that the entire time.
God. Oh
Although
my
the first
gosh.
defense almost worked.
Life plus 70 years. Was it 70 years?
75.
Oh my, that is so funny. They're making this law. They're like, all right, let's say this guy comes back to life. He's going to still have to serve 75, okay? And we'll just put that in there just in case.
Yeah, when God comes back for the second coming and he's rose from the dead, he's got 75 more years.
Yeah.
So Barry, of course, gets out after 4.5 years and goes on to become a multimillionaire because he actually was really good at real estate investing.
Oh my God.
He becomes a respected businessman, and in 1998, he sells a story to an LA newspaper for $485,000, which, of course, is optioned by Columbia Pictures.
Dang
Movie
it, they already did it?
Yeah, well, the movie never gets made
Okay.
because the Sinatra family blocked it from happening.
But that is funny. It's like, isn't that double what his ransom money was?
Yeah.
That's poetic.
So there is a Showtime movie that is called Stealing Sinatra that comes out in 2003, starring David Arquette, William H. Macy. I watched it, not the greatest.
They're doing
It's easy to
movies
do
that came out 2 years ago. They're doing remake. So I think
Yeah.
we're okay. Okay.
No problem.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, David Arquette actually played Barry in it, which is extra funny.
I love that.
And Barry goes on to say, I didn't do this for the money. I did it for a business deal.
Hold strong, Barry, my man. Hold strong.
And he maintained decades later that he never meant any harm by doing it.
The gun was just a prop.
Yeah. So, Barry really didn't end out too bad.
He lived his dream. He rocked it.
Do you think somebody could get away with something like this today?
No, because cell phones,
Yeah.
right?
Cell phones, social media, cameras are everywhere. It just
Also,
feels impossible.
Barry made a lot of mistakes. So also there's cameras everywhere. I am so I just think about how many cameras are around all the time, like stoplight cameras and all that stuff.
There's no way. They're there's an angle in every way possible of a car and a license plate. It would be impossible.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, what do you think is the takeaway from this story? Like, what are you telling people about this at a dinner party?
Wow. That persistence is key. That if you just hold on to your true beliefs, that you can get away with anything. Because he did. He's like, no, I was just trying to be in business. You said he was a respected businessman after that. And that is so funny to me that people were like, you know what, Barry, you're a respectful guy.
Yeah, I feel, yeah, I respect you, man.
I respect what you did. Yeah.
Well, Lauren, thank you so much for being on. This was awesome. Thank you for living in the shoes of Barry for a little while.
It
And
was an honor and a pleasure.
putting your fraud / kidnap hat on for a little bit.
Yeah.
Where can listeners find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Holt Lauren. And yeah, I'm on I Love LA, so give that a watch. And The Comeback, I don't know if I got cut out, but we'll see. Hopefully I'm in it. It's going to air in a couple weeks.
I feel good about it.
Me too. I feel like it'll be okay. We'll see. In Hollywood, you never know.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Lauren.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to Truly Unreal. As a reminder, we'll link any relevant photos, documents, and additional information in the show notes, so be sure to check those out. And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Truly Unreal Show so you don't miss behind-the-scenes clips and bonus content. You can also watch the full-length episodes over on YouTube. That's a wrap for Truly Unreal, Episode 4. See you next week, unless God tells you to kidnap a celebrity's kid.